Dad and I are in a race to win the top 5 leagues and cups in Europe, as well as the Champions League and Europa League, also known as the Glory Hunter Challenge. And so far, after starting in Germany at Frankfurt and Dortmund, it's gone very well. For one of us. Because after winning the Bundesliga in the first season in Germany with Frankfurt, I moved to Barcelona, who finished in 4th place, and somehow we signed Scott McTominay. And without Lewandowski, who retired early, we won the League, Cup and Champions League, completing the treble, which makes my trophy cabinet look great after just 2 seasons. Dad did manage to pick up the DFB-Pokal in the 2nd season, so all is not lost. And he is on the board with a trophy in his cabinet going into season 3. Of course, it's time for me to resign from Barcelona as Spain is now complete and I've got to find a new home. And with Real Madrid, Atletico and Barcelona all looking for a new manager at the same time, Dad was quick to apply for all 3. He was rejected from Barcelona and Real Madrid instantly, but Atletico invited him in for an interview. Hilariously, without even applying, Real Madrid asked me to interview, which I of course turned down. Dad was offered the Atletico Madrid job, but he decided to actually turn it down and stay in Dortmund for now. And that's because he had been eyeing up some players, including Marc Casado from Barcelona, who he put a bid in for. He was, however, going to be losing his centre-back after multiple clubs activated his release clause. I had problems because the season had begun and I still wasn't in a job, so I was going to have to wait even longer. Dad was raring to go, although he had a tough start to the season, having to play Bayern Munich in the Super Cup and one of his opening league fixtures. Dad, going into season number 3, I have still yet to find a job. Everton is there, but there's no other really that is good enough, I think, to go for.
Could be a free season for me,
yeah. You stayed sort of reluctantly, but also sort of by choice.
Yes, I applied for 3 jobs, got one of them, or got offered one of them, and it was the one I really sort of like that. I mean, 3 Spanish sides, really good sides, but you're going to take Barcelona and Real Madrid first before you take Atletico Madrid, in you. So
yeah.
And I thought it might have been just a struggle to take over Atletico Madrid rather than when you got the 2 big boys, especially when Barcelona had just done what you've just done with it. So,
Arne Slot's took over
yes.
at Barcelona, so they've got a new manager there in Arne Slot. They've also signed Francolinho as their new striker.
Yeah.
Obviously, didn't fancy going strikerless. Which
is what I was hoping to do, not a necessary sign him. I'd have gone in there and just splashed all the money on one player.
Yeah.
And it would have been the striker, really.
And then just paid Scott McTominay loads more wages. You're only on 200k. That's mental. Crazy money. But let's have a look and see who took over the Real Madrid job. Of course, because that was the other job that became available, Antonio Conte. So he's now gone there from PSG. So PSG job.
Yeah, that didn't come up though. As
couldn't even apply for it.
Couldn't even apply for it yet. Which I would have jumped at that chance if I could.
Yeah. If we're looking at the PSG job, Julian Nagelsmann took over from Germany. So it was sort of a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
They had already gone for Nagelsmann and you literally couldn't even apply for it, which was very frustrating because, of course, I would have gone for that.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But there we go. Can't do it. Never mind. Atletico Madrid, without obviously offering you the job and then couldn't get it, Thomas Tuchel took over from England.
Yes.
So the England manager leaving. Well, he might have already been sacked, actually. But you can't actually see the... Can you see the England manager anymore? I don't know whether you can. Doesn't look like it. But yeah, they've... Thomas Tuchel is now Atletico Madrid manager. So lots of manager merry-go-rounds. But you stay put at Dortmund and I stay put being unemployed. So let's have a look at the transfers that you made. Because when you decided that you were going to stay, you really locked in terms of the transfers coming into the club.
Yes.
Stanisic was out of your hands. Real Madrid activated his release clause of £44 million, as well as other clubs, actually.
Yeah.
And Mecha was another player that you decided to let go.
Yeah.
27 million. So 78 million actually come into the club, which allowed you to spend 127 million. It's big money.
It was big money, but I had to get big players in to sort of improve what I'd just done on the season before. I'm still struggling in the league, so yeah.
Casado was the first man. Good name to bring in, I think.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, the defensive midfielder, just really, really good player. So yeah, I didn't think I'd get him. He was wanted by other clubs, but lucky enough, he picked me to come to my team. So I'm looking forward to having him in the team, really.
23 years of age, mental attributes are disgusting. Very good player.
Yeah.
Then we got Conor Bradley from Liverpool, so good right back option.
It was. I mean, there was I was surprised that he was the better one of the 3 or 4 that I looked at. So, yeah. And he was the youngest one I looked at as well. So, yeah, I got him in. So, hopefully he can do a job for me there.
Sucic was another centre midfielder. So, could play CDM, could play centre mid. But, so again, very good attributes.
2 strong centre midfielders in there now. So, that's like what I always call the spine of the team. And this one finishes the spine of the team
with
for me, really.
Scalvini.
Yes. He's going to be on the right-hand side. I've got a good left-hand side sort of defender already there. So, I've got a good right-hand side there now. So, yeah.
4-2-3-1. If we're looking at it here, the best 11 pick pretty much there is exactly the same. Garassi, Bayer, Adeyemi and Di Ketelare is your front 3 or front 4.
Relying on them again to score the goals for me. But I've just sort of made my defence and my midfield, especially defensive midfield, very, very strong now, I feel.
Yeah. Okay, well, start the season. Obviously, you played Bayern Munich. Not the result that you wanted away from home. No. 92nd minute winner from Harry Kane. Yeah. After being 2-0 up. I know.
You start off like that against them, especially at their place. It's going to be an hard game, but Harry Kane does what Harry Kane does. Scores hat-tricks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a problem.
You drew and dropped points against Wolfsburg as well, which was bad. And Darmstadt got a 2-0 win. So you finally got a first win in the Bundesliga, the one main trophy you'll go in for.
Yes.
This season.
Yeah, it's got all out for the leagues. I don't particularly care if I get knocked out really early in the cup, which sometimes happens to the big teams. I've got that one in the bag, so... Yep, all or nothing for this season now.
There was temptation for me to go back to Eintracht Frankfurt. They are top of the league. They are doing all right. Horst Stefan was the guy who took over. So he was actually Gladbach's manager. I didn't fancy going to Gladbach, unfortunately. So I'm kind of just sat back waiting for stuff to happen now. As soon as it gets to around about that November period, that's when I'll be starting to look at the managerial vacancies really closely, because that's sort of when they'll start sacking managers. It's hard at this point, though, because usually that's only when they sack the clubs that are down the bottom of the league. It's very rare that you'll find a big club getting sacked around about November unless they are doing terrible. Yeah. And at that point, it's like, well, is it even worth taking over? Because you could just wait to the end of the season where they'll probably be in a better situation.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So we'll see. It's a bit of a disadvantage starting without a club here, but I've got a big advantage in terms of the trophies won because of the Barcelona treble last season. So we're all right. We're sat relaxed as we go into season number 3. As season 3 progressed, Dab was doing a great job pursuing Bayern Munich in the title race in Germany, while also doing well in the Champions League, as he defeated my old Barcelona side 1-0 at home in the league phase. But a 5-0 win against a real struggling Leipzig might have just inadvertently given me an opening. As while Dad was 3 points behind Bayern Munich, that knocked Leipzig down into 16th place, and they sacked their manager, Lukas Kwasniok. And while nothing else was happening and appealing around the manager world, Leipzig had a decent side, and although we're struggling in the Bundesliga, they were in the Europa League as well, while still having a very good team and being the DFB-Pokal with only Frankfurt left to play, because Bayern and Dad's Dortmund were out. Almost immediately after applying, they invited me in for an interview, and of all days, on Christmas Day, they offered me the job to take over as manager. Our setup was going back to my old tricks of 2 wingers on one side, with Diamonde and Nusa, and out of possession, Nusa drops into a more central role. As the months went on, however, I could see why this Leipzig side was struggling so bad. They were awful in the league, and we could not get a good run of form going. By the end of March, we were no better than where we joined the club 4 months previous, sat in 16th place, while Dad was still only 3 points behind Bayern Munich. Unfortunately for us, Benfica then went and knocked us out of the Europa League quarterfinals too, meaning it's just the DFB-Pokal that we had to focus on. We had reached the semi-final in that competition though, and had Elversberg to play next. Dad was on his own little journey in the Champions League, as he had to overcome my old Barcelona side in the quarterfinals. We got ourselves in the DFB-Pokal final with a comfortable 4-1 win, but it's our old side Frankfurt that we've got to play in the final. After a 2-0 loss in the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals, Dad's Dortmund side came out swinging back in Germany, and they put on a classic performance, getting all 3 goals required, keeping a clean sheet to progress through to the semi-finals, where they would face Betis. This time it took them until extra time after 2 1-1 draws before Dad's Dortmund put themselves in the Champions League final. Both have got important finals that could lead to trophies then, and my match against Frankfurt in the DFB-Pokal is up first. And this comes off the back of us both having bad ends of the league campaign, as I finished down in 15th while Dad dropped down to 3rd. Things were looking great for my Leipzig side in the cup final against my former team too, when we took the lead on just 15 minutes from Bakayoko's wonderful finish. However, the tide soon turned and we were back to our old ways, losing the ball terribly in midfield, and Frankfurt then punished us. From there, they controlled the game and we couldn't get ourselves back into the lead, and eventually Frankfurt made it 2-1 before 25 minutes had even been played, and then went on to score a third to kill the tie and lift the DFB-Pokal trophy. Heartbreak for me seeing the team I turned down applying to go back to and to go on and lift the one trophy in this country that I still needed to win. Over to Dad though, who was hoping to close the gap in trophies down to 2 with a big win against Man City in the Champions League final. Things didn't start well when Adeyemi was shown a straight red card 13 minutes in. Dad's Dortmund side played the perfect game though and kept Manchester City quiet, just hoping for that one chance, which eventually came in the second half when Bayer found Di Ketelaere at the back post. And miraculously, Manchester City had no response. They couldn't break Dad's side down and they held on to a 1-0 win to go on and lift the Champions League trophy. Well, Dad, what a win out of nowhere.
Definitely, yeah.
Especially with 10 men.
What could have been a poor season, it's turned out a good season. That's a big one for me to have in the bag, really.
Yeah.
With 10 in the 13th minute and still do City. Whoa, come on.
Yeah.
And I mean, City possession was 58. I have 42. So, all right, shot wise, they had a lot more shots. But you're thinking of that when they got Haaland in the side. So, is he there? Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He played.
And but I'm going to take that.
Yeah. As you should.
Big trophy in the cabinet.
Cabell was the man of the match. Your goalkeeper, always a good sign, isn't it?
He had to be, didn't he, really? In a game like that, he's always going to be, really. So,
yeah, well done. The Champions League was won, but I did think at some point I was going to be extending my lead.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we could not get it over the line here at the Leipzig Cup final against my old side, Frankfurt, which is rather annoying.
Oh, they done me a big favour there.
That it's Frankfurt who's gone on to win it.
Because you nearly took that job.
Yeah.
You nearly went back there, didn't you?
But, I mean,
and you
weirdly,
went 1-0 up as well.
Yeah, weirdly, this Leipzig team, very good. Everybody knows how good the Leipzig team is. It's really struggling this year. I mean, I took them over in the relegation zone, 16th. I only finished in 15th.
Yeah.
Really poor. Very, very poor. I mean, the tactic we were trying to run is a little bit wacky with the two on the left, but
still got you to the final.
Yeah, it got me to a cup final.
You nearly done what you needed to do. Just that one trophy, wasn't it?
It's so bizarre. I mean, my run to the final, I had Elversberg in the semi, but I almost got to the Europa League as well. I mean, round of 16, I was in that too. I thought, imagine taking this club over and having the Europa League and the DFB Pokal in one season. I beat you as well on the route to the final. Just so annoying. But never mind. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I mean, we both don't know.
Yeah.
Do you stay? Because you've got to win the Bundesliga still.
Yes.
You didn't have a very good performance there.
I mean, I'm looking at if my team's good enough to win the Champions League, does it just need a little tweak? I know you lot are going to be shouting at me again like they do in this. Don't stay too long. But I'm building such a good side. Am I going to jump ship? Yeah. Am I going to jump ship too early? You know, they've done me 2 trophies now. I've got the Bundesliga one, cup in there. Then I've got the Champions League. I only need Bayern to have one bad season again, and you jump in. I don't know what to do. I mean, it really all depends on what jobs appear again.
Yeah.
You know, if Barcelona or Real Madrid or PSG appear again, and I apply for it and they offer me, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
That's a definite.
£63 million in the bank.
Yeah,
so there is a budget.
They were backing me as well, didn't they?
If you're looking at your squad, I still think you've got a very good team.
Yeah.
I think you would have to get a new striker. I think Guirassy now 32. Yeah. He doesn't have the best natural fitness of 12. Like, attribute-wise, he's great, but there's going to start declining. You can see that really with his star rating going down to a 3-star now, but 21 goals he got you last season. Di Ketelaere with 13 from Maximilian Bayer, who is a very good player and developing well. Adeyemi, a little bit hit and miss.
Do you know, I've always felt the same of him, really. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. And I'm quite tempted to sort of sell him. If I get the 70, 80 million, I could buy one hell of a good winger for that, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, especially if you got that money, because then on top of the £70 million you already had.
Yeah.
Could could bring in two very good players there. I'm unsure with this Leipzig team because of how bad they finished, because I'm not in any European football. £23 million as well is basically peanuts. It's either finding a very good system with this team, which I don't think is actually that good. I took it over because of the prospect of being in the Cup when both Bayern and yourself was out.
Yeah.
And, of course, being in the Europa League.
The Europa League was a big one. If you had gone on and won that one, that's just a killer.
Yeah.
Could have been a killer for me because especially the Europa League, has always been an.
That's the hardest one in Glory Hunter. But yeah, that was the risk. That was the reason why we went for that job, because of those two targets. And unfortunately, we didn't get either of them. So that was kind of a failed attempt, really. And now I don't know whether to move on, because does that hurt my reputation? Well, if you're looking at the jobs, there's definitely two jobs that really interest me. Now, Atletico Madrid, I'm done in Spain. I don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, you don't,
But Napoli and Monaco, that's two that could very much interest me.
Yeah.
Roma as well, in 5th place, insecure. They haven't sacked Ronald Koeman, but I might be able to, declare interest and push him out. But the fact that the Napoli job is there. The only downside, don't have Scott McTominay.
Yeah, they're not the same team without him, I can tell you.
Exactly. But what they do have is Lorenzo Luca, fantastic player. Vitor Roque, what a player. Lukaku's still there at age 35, not a bad player either. Got some big names in there. Kevin De Bruyne is about to retire, but still, very good player. I don't know. James Maddison, go in there. You got the Serie A, the Coppa Italia. They finish in 7th place. That's either Europa League or Europa Conference League, depending on how many qualify for it. It's probably going to be Europa Conference League because it's Italy.
I hope it is.
But hey, that's not a bad shout. And Monaco is kind of a less appealing role. They finish in 7th in the Liga, and normally they're the second or third best team. But Marseille were really close in behind PSG.
They just drew too many, didn't they?
Yeah, they drew way too many games because they only lost one more. But yeah, you're looking at that area there. Those 4 teams are very similar to each other. Monaco seems to have just had a bad year there, down in 49 points. In terms of the players that they got, I think it's less appealing. They've got Balogun, who's a decent striker, but I don't think he's anywhere near as good as the players that Napoli have got.
No.
And that's what's appealing to me most. They got some good players, but I think it would definitely be the second choice, even if I was choosing to leave Leipzig, because I still don't know. So let's find out what happens this summer, because I do think at least one of us might be moving. After my short time at Leipzig, my resignation was handed in and I applied for both Napoli and Monaco. Dad decided to stay after agreeing the deal to sign my favourite striker Samu at Borussia Dortmund, hoping he can bring him goals and a league title. A couple of weeks of waiting and in came the interviews for both Monaco first, followed by Napoli soon after. In the time that they were waiting to hire a new manager, Dad ended up selling Adeyemi to Napoli for 45 million. Annoyingly, that was my preferred job, so I delayed Monaco when they approached first to see if Napoli would eventually come calling. And they did, and we were off to Naples in Italy to become their new manager. And my plans for this team was including a wild 3-striker tactic in possession, utilising their very good wingbacks. As well as, of course, the 6'7" striker Lorenzo Luca, who is a main central goal-scoring threat for my Napoli team. While Dad was hoping to get his side providing the best for Samu up top. Well, Dad, here I am in Naples.
Yeah, good luck.
What a team to get.
I'm still not looking forward to going to Italy.
I don't mind Italy as much. I think the rules can be quite confusing. I was just really annoyed that they spent that much money on Adeyemi just before I joined.
Thank you very much.
Sneaky son of a...
As soon as they come up offering me, I thought I'll let him go straight away.
What a waste of 45 million.
Thank you very much.
I definitely would not have signed him myself if I got there before they had actually made that deal. But hey, at least they still gave me enough money to do a few transfers of my own. Now, they did actually release quite a few players there. So, I mean, I signed 2 players after that, because one of them I needed to replace Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
He retired. So I brought in Simon Profundi, 17 million. I think that's quite a good replacement. Mm-hmm. He's done amazing, but I wanted to spend the most of my money on Lewis Ferguson, £40 million. I think as like sort of the engine room type of player that he brings, very good. Now, tactically, we are going a little bit wild because we've got this 3 up front. We've got the target forward for Lukaku. We've got Ferguson in that DM role being locked in, that box-to-box. And if you pick the best 11 there, it puts Zambo and Gisa in there. Vitor Roque and Lorenzo Luca up there with Profundi in behind. Very good. Advanced wing-backs. They've got Di Lorenzo, bit of a legend now. 20 natural fitness, so hoping he can carry on for another year at age 35 and still be decent. And Gutierrez on the other side is just one of the best players in the team, so don't have to worry about that side whatsoever. But I think defensively, we are probably the weakest at the back here. We got Bukema, who I don't think I've ever seen before, but he doesn't look too bad. And Borgino, who isn't exactly a bad player either, left-footed, 29 years of age. We just don't have like star players there, and the goalkeeper Murray is okay. So I'm hoping we just go full attack, hammer it this year, and we could pick up either the Coppa Italia or the Serie A, because we haven't started too well. A win, loss, and a draw. Atalanta drawing away. That's not a bad result, to be honest.
That's a fair result, yeah.
But losing at home to Palermo's not great.
No, that's definitely not a good result.
No. Cesena FC, that's we should be winning that night every day of the week.
Yeah.
Mark Cucurella also plays here. The most hated player in the game plays for us. But yeah, I mean, the only other thing is we did in fact make it into the Europa League.
Oh, no.
It wasn't the Europa Conference. So, we've got a second bite of the cherry in terms of the Europa League.
So you're playing for 3 trophies now?
Exactly. Chelsea's in there. Eintracht Frankfurt, by no means I would say, is this going to be an easy go at the Europa League?
Forest.
The Rats are in there. Betis.
Yeah, they always do, don't they? Come on.
There's some Villa as well. There's some tricky customers in there, to be honest. Porto too. And you've just pinched Porto's best striker.
I have, yes.
So that makes it a little bit easier for me. Let's have a look then at your squad and see the rest of the players that you brought in.
Did you pick the right one that I bought?
Outside of Samu. There he is.
So I've bought myself a bit of a beast.
Yeah.
This is the guy I need to score the goals for me.
A cracking player.
Yes.
We know he can score.
We all know he can score goals for us. So
16 last season, 2 and 3
goals
already.
And 3 already. Yeah, so I'm pleased he's hit the ground running.
Yeah. £95 million.
A big guy to hit the ground as well.
Malik Fofana. Another good player, to be honest.
Yes.
Leon did very well last year. We've seen him finish second in the league. He is a very tricky winger.
That's the winger of
instead of Adeyemi.
The one that sold to you. Yeah.
So to me, like I actually bought him.
He's a good winger, so hopefully he's going to be supplying the ball out there. Really, he'll be crossing the balls in. I'm going to keep him out wide and all that. So yeah.
If I had Fofana instead of Adeyemi, I might have play wingers.
Yeah.
I think I could just do wingers just out of principle because I don't want to play Adeyemi. But there we go. Yeah, he's joined the club as well, so not a bad little sign in that. Now, tactically, a little bit of tweaking.
Yes.
Samu going up front, being locked up front because for some reason it still was putting Garassi up there, which makes 0 sense.
I couldn't get rid of him. I wanted to try and get rid of him for the money that they were offering.
Yeah.
But no one came in for him. No one interested in him.
Even though he is wanted by Rennes and Lille.
You go on there and try and sell him, and all of a sudden no one wants him.
Yeah.
So yeah, defense still a really good defense, I feel. So I'm still our team to beat. That's what I'm trying to hope for. Really, in the league, you got to be making sure that when you're scoring goals. So in possession. It's full out attack. Get the wingers going down the wings, getting the ball over to Sammy, and hopefully he can bang the ball in the back of the net for me. Right,
well, start of the season, if we're looking at that, it's been very good.
That's what he started doing, isn't it?
3 wins from 3.
Yep.
And in the cup.
Great start. So I'm really pleased with it now. Hopefully this will be the way.
Yeah.
You can afford to lose 2 or 3 games in this league. That's it.
Well, that's it. Bayern Munich are also 3 from 3, as is Stuttgart, the team that finished above you last year.
Yeah, I was hoping one of them would sort of lose a game to give me a little bit of leeway to start off with. But no, we've all started with a clean sheet, so off we go. See how it goes.
Well, lots of trophies up for grabs. Dad's going for one. He's still trying to lock off that Bundesliga trophy. I've still got to go back to Germany, of course, at some point. But how am I going to do in season number 1 of being the Napoli manager? 3 trophies to go for. The Europa League, the Coppa Italia, and the Serie A. Let's see if I can pick any of them up. With 3 competitions to play for in Italy, with the Europa League included, I was hoping for a good start at Napoli. And although our start wasn't exactly perfect, a win in our game in hand and we go into the new year in a title race. Dad was not having a great time in Germany, however, as a match against Bayern Munich showcased how far behind them he actually still is, losing 5-0 in the Bundesliga. Sitting him down in 5th place in the league, all but over, as well as Bayern Munich are still unbeaten. Back in in Italy, and we also found ourselves in the semi-final of the Coppa Italia, with our star man this season, Profondi, scoring 2 goals in the first leg against Lazio to hopefully put us in the final. And we were still knocking on the door of the Serie A title, 2 points behind, but Atalanta had a game extra to play. We got through our second leg against Lazio after the 4-0 first win with a draw, meaning we head to the Coppa Italia final, where we will face Roma. In Germany, although the Bundesliga was over, Dad had another great run in the Champions League, and he reached the semi-final against Real Madrid, where they drew 2-2 in the first leg. Meanwhile, I now had the game advantage in the Serie A, but was 7 points still behind Atalanta. It was bad news for us in the Europa League, however, as we were knocked out by Lille across 2 legs in the semi-final, 2-1 on aggregate. Dad also managed to overcome Real Madrid in extra time from a penalty, meaning he now goes on to face Arsenal in another Champions League final. When it was time for the Coppa Italia final, however, things didn't quite go our way, as Roma defeated us 5-0 in the Coppa Italia final to lift the trophy right in front of us. What did work in our favour though was in the league we stood an outside chance of winning it on the final day when we won 7-0 to Udinese and Atalanta drew 3-3. We would need to beat Torino to do so, and Atalanta would have to lose to Bologna, and we did our job winning 4-1. And somehow the Serie A gods were looking down on us because Bologna went and done the unthinkable, defeating Atalanta for us 3-2, crowning my Napoli side champions of Italy once again by a single point. After a terrible league campaign finishing in 4th for Dad, he looked to try and win back-to-back Champions Leagues. But despite Dad Stortman pulling things back after going 1-0 down through Samu, the game was turned back in Arsenal's favour as Carlos Baleba scored 2 second-half goals to win 3-1.
Well, disappointing for both of us in finals. I mean, you weren't going for the Champions League final.
No,
It would just been a nice thing to win.
I just can't believe I've got to the Champions League final again. So it's 2 seasons in a row. I've got a good team.
Yeah.
But you look at my league position and you would think I've got an awful team.
Yeah. What's hilarious is we both had disappointment at the Olimpico.
Yeah.
His mine was obviously the Coppa Italia. Yours was the Champions League, which was also played at the Olimpico. But yeah, the league, you're miles off.
I
Nowhere near
lost
'em.
10 games. I mean, Bayern Munich lost 1 game.
Yeah.
And I said that, you've got to be relying on them losing at least 4, I think, to be in with a chance. They lost 1. Oh, never gonna
And he ain't going to lose his job anytime soon with results like that. If he ain't going to lose a job when he came 4th in that first season.
Yeah. I'm very downhearted now with this season. I've just thought I had such a better team. And it's got me to a Champions League final again, 2 seasons in a row. Just a no now. You're all screaming at me. Leave.
It's Roma all over again for long-term viewers who watched Glory Hunter last year.
Oh, I don't know.
When Dad stayed at Roma for so long. But I'm building a good team. Well, I'm going, I'm lifting trophies. Speaking of which, we have done it on the final day of the season in Italy, defeating Atalanta to the
Atlanta.
title.
Last game of the season and you gifted Napoli
Chucked
the
it
title.
away. Absolutely chucked it away. Losing to Bologna 3-2 on the final day. You can see they were 3-1 down, so it wasn't like a late one or anything like that, but they proper chucked it away because they were in the driving seat. We had to beat Torino and we had to have Atalanta lose because even if they draw, it would have gone to a playoff.
Oh yeah,
because it's
they do
Serie
a playoff.
A.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not goal difference, it's
Yeah.
a playoff, so we would have to have played extra fixtures.
Obviously been good enough to get that playoff still. So
Yeah. But we've
Can't
got
believe
one
that.
down. Get in.
Believe that you've done that again.
It's so close to doing the treble again. I mean, the Coppa Italia, Roma at the Olimpico, that's unfair. 5-0. Unbelievable. Great
God for
result
that.
from them. They absolutely knobbed us.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Crazy result. And in the Europa League, beaten by the eventual winners, Lille, which did not see coming at all.
I mean, Porto got to the final as well, so
beat Villa.
they were all right losing their main striker, wouldn't they? They've done all right.
It was a 1-1 in the first leg, 1-0 in the second leg. Couldn't score in the second leg. Very disappointing because I would have fancied my chances against Porto.
Yeah.
That would if I got that one, I would have been like, stay a little bit longer, win the cup. I am comfy. I'm all good. Now we're not in the Europa League. Obviously, we're in we've only going to go for the Coppa Italia next season. And that's, I think, my worst thing is chasing cups.
Yeah.
When I've already won the league.
It is. You seem
I
to
struggle
struggle
with
on
that.
all the cups, don't you? And I sort of like the cups seems to come easy for me. It's the leagues for me now.
Yeah.
I sort of like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. What's available?
Well, that's it. Make sure you subscribe so you do not miss what's going to happen next in the Glory Hunter. Let's take a look before we add the trophies at the jobs available, because there are some big ones. Not Spurs. No, Spurs is there. 7th place Spurs, which means Europa League football too. At the minute it says Europa Conference, but we know full well England tends to have 5 in the Champions League, which means they'll have 2 in Europa League and 1 in Europa Conference. So Spurs will probably be in the Europa League.
Any other Premier League side, I'd probably vote, nah. Oh, God. And they're in the Europa League as well.
Marseille's another one because they finished in second place.
Yeah, again. They finished second in the last season as well, didn't they? So that's like, I mean, PSG, what do they leave? They lost 3 games this season.
9 points in between.
They always have one bad season. It's catching that one bad season.
Yeah.
And Marseille are on their tail.
Got Cherki back. Back in France.
It's tempting as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You the Premier League is 5 or 6 teams that can win that Premier League. With this league, you're just trying to beat one team.
Yeah. We always say, didn't it? It's easier to win the Champions League than it is to win Liga if you're not PSG.
Yeah.
Because they're just that good. But Spurs, let's have a look at the team that they've got. Rodrigo is their top player.
Oh,
Rodrigo.
He is a striker that I do like.
In his prime.
Oh, no.
In his prime.
No.
I might just have to. And Hendrick. They have both.
He is the other striker that I do enjoy buying that striker, don't I?
I might have to apply just to stop you from getting them.
Xavi Simons he's
still there.
13 goals, 15 assists as well. I mean,
Kulusevski's still there. Brennan Johnson, Mikey Moore even. He's done all right. Sarr's still there. They've still got a great team.
Sarr's out of a midfield on the game as well, isn't he? So
Luca Williams-Barnett's coming into the team as well. They got some good players. So still got Romero.
Their front 3 are really good.
Yeah.
So. Their defence is not bad. How old are they? 31. Romero.
Kudus is on the transfer list.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't know now.
Lots of things to think about. What would you do? If you're dad, would you be leaving Germany right now? He's in 4 years at Dortmund. 4 years. Don't know. Let us know down in the comments. But we've got some trophies to add to our trophy cabinet.
As triumph in Season 3 means he does add a second trophy with the Champions League, but will he stay at Borussia Dortmund? Whereas my trophy cabinet does look a lot fuller with 5 trophies won now. It could have been a lot worse if I managed to complete the Coppa Italia this season too.